Alright, it's time for another episode of 5 Thoughts, and today's first one is about A'ja Wilson's passing. A'ja's biggest weakness as an offensive player has always been her passing, and right out of the gate this year, her processing speed has noticeably improved. I think this play perfectly captures this improvement, where she anticipates the double team here and throws an over-the-shoulder pass. Last year, she would miss this exact same pass when the double came from the baseline. Alysha Clark is just standing there in the dunker spot, but now there's an intentionality when it comes to mapping the floor that makes passes like these possible, where she sees a cheating Gabby Williams overcommit to a drive, and she sprays it to Jewel in the corner for 3. Here's that exact same situation last year, where her scoring blindness took away simple passing reads that are meant to punish defenses who commit to taking away her scoring. Last year, her assist percentage was only at 14%, which is criminally low for any number one option, but this year that number has jumped up to an impressive 27%, which is the biggest season-to-season change in that metric since Diana Taurasi in 2017 to 2018. I'm not the biggest advocate of assist percentage, but I do think it speaks to A'ja's willingness to pass in these spots and the improved court awareness from previous years. It's also a signal that it's never too late in your career to improve that aspect of the game. Their late game sequence last month against the Mystics to me best captures this growth from A'ja, where she catches the ball at the top of the key and drives left, but as she goes to make her spin move back middle, the double has already arrived, so she throws this gorgeous laydown pass to Jackie Young to tie the game. We'll definitely be seeing this clip again in an upcoming video. Thought number 2 has been Jacy Sheldon's screen navigation. Sheldon's defense has gone largely unnoticed, but she's been arguably the best in the entire league in this department. Despite her short stature, she uses it to her advantage by getting up into the ball handler and chasing them around the court, making their life a living nightmare. Here's a play where Sheldon chases Natisha Hiedeman up and over this down screen, then follows her stride for stride around this get action, forcing her to give up the ball. You'll often see Sheldon slithering through multiple screens to stay attached to her man, and on this play she even jumps out at the ball handler in pick and roll and nabs a steal. I think my favorite thing about watching Jacy play defense is her breaks. Her ability to recover back to the ball handler even after her momentum carries her to the baseline is remarkable. Of course, Sheldon has amazing hands as well. She loves this little swipe down trick to create deflections when players expose the ball in her vicinity, and it's all part of a tremendous defensive package that makes her one of the best point of attack defenders in the league already, and she's only in year 2. Thought number 3 takes us to Indiana, where we have to talk about Lexi Hull's offensive improvement. Lexi has made massive leaps in a few areas so far this year. The first one is finishing at the rim. Last year, she shot an abysmal 40%, with a large percentage of them being uncontested. It was an issue for her in college as well, but that number has taken a complete 180, jumping up to 62% this year, which is right around league average. But what's impressive about a lot of these shots has been their degree of difficulty. With the absence of Caitlin Clark from the lineup the past 2 weeks, Hull has been called upon to answer the bell, and she's delivered. She's done a lot more off the dribble creation, which is something we really haven't seen from her in the league. This is a right-handed reverse layup on the left side of the rim over the outstretched arm of a defender. And then 2 minutes later, we get a left-handed finish on the right side of the rim, again over a decent contest. She cooked up a mixtape on the Washington Mystics last week with her off the dribble scoring, and not even a minute later we get this ridiculous SGA level footwork where she gets Citron in the air with an up fake while somehow keeping her pivot foot down and then drains a baseline jumper once the defender flies by.
Wait, timeout. Can I take a timeout? Can we take a timeout?
This time it's some playmaking from Hull, attacking this very good closeout, only to hit Shakira Austin with the up and under laydown pass. And for the promo outro, we get another laydown pass after attacking a closeout from the corner. Since Clark is nursing an injury, it's likely this off-the-dribble creation will cease when she returns to the lineup, but the playmaking and clear rim finishing improvement from last year makes Lexi Hull an early MIP candidate in my eyes. Thought number 4 is we may be witnessing the start of a three-point revolution. I say maybe because last year the WNBA set a league record with teams averaging 22.8 three-point attempts per game. This year that number is up to 24.7. It's hard to predict whether this number will go up or down in the coming months when teams get more games under their belt, but you can see just how many more threes are being taken compared to last year and even 10 years ago. Now, polarity is natural in a stat like this. Teams like Golden State and New York are doing a lot of the heavy lifting to make this growth look as strong as it is, but understand just how remarkable it is that 8 of the 12 teams from last year have upped their three-point volume this year, and most of them by a large amount. Now, with that being said, offensive ratings league-wide have actually not changed at all in the last 10 years. There hasn't actually been a noticeable improvement in team efficiency, although it's worth pointing out that teams progressively get better as the year goes on, with the spikes typically happening in August and September. So perhaps we'll just have to wait and see what changes. And to wrap things up, thought number 5 is on Seattle's newest long ball sniper, Gabby Williams. I want to take you back to last year's playoff series against the Aces because in that series, Vegas largely left her wide open on these three-point attempts, daring her to beat them from downtown, and it worked as she only shot 33% from there. Seattle's offense has been a massive struggle for years now, and it's been almost entirely due to the lack of three-point shooting from the guards and forwards, Gabby being one of them. But this year, Gabby has started the season shooting a blazing 50% from 3 on 5 attempts per game, which, to no surprise, is the best on the team. And it's the confidence on these that really impresses me. She doesn't hesitate or second guess her training, she just rises up into a catch and shoot look. Even in late game situations, there hasn't been a hesitancy to let it fly, and she's been especially good above the break where she's shooting a ludicrous 45%. This is the type of shot making that to me is the biggest indicator of confidence. Bridget Carlton naturally goes under the screen here because of Gabby's past, so she just pulls up off the dribble and it's nothing but net. This play made me audibly gasp. I'm not sure there are many good three-point shooters that are daring enough to take a between-the-legs crossover pull-up 3 in transition.
I ain't never ever seen you act like this before. You getting buckets. How you feel?
Now, the Seattle offense has largely struggled to start the year, but it hasn't been because of Gabby. And if she continues to shoot like this, it will pay massive dividends for a Storm team that is only a few outside shooters away from being serious title contenders. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it to the end, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. In the comments, let me know what stood out to you over the first month of the year and what videos you'd like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.